So, what can artificial intelligence actually do right now? Beyond all the science fiction stuff, beyond the crazy headlines, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through the noise. We'll show you the 5 core superpowers that AI has today, everything from mastering language to acting as your own personal expert. All right, let's dive in. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and a huge welcome back to Digital Future AI School. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you get value out of what we're doing here, please do subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends. It really helps us out a lot. So for today's deep dive, this is episode 6, and we're exploring chapter 6 from the fantastic book, AI, Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work, by Zahir Ahmad Mir. We're going to use his framework to really unpack what AI is capable of right now. And the book kicks off with this really crucial piece of wisdom. It says, understanding what AI can do and what it cannot do is essential for using it wisely, safely, and effectively. This really sets the perfect tone for our entire discussion. We're keeping it grounded in reality, not getting lost in the hype. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through what the book calls AI's 5 core superpowers. We'll start with how it masters language, then see how it learns to reason, how it becomes a creator, then a super sharp data analyst, and finally, how it can act as an expert co-pilot in our daily lives. It's going to be quite a journey. Okay, let's get right into it. The first big idea is getting a realistic picture of AI today. Our goal here is to separate the science fiction, the stuff you see in movies, from the very real and, honestly, the very impressive reality of what AI can do right here, right now. So, superpower number 1. This is maybe the most important, the most foundational capability of modern AI, its role as a language master. And we're not just talking about processing words here. This is about understanding and using language in a way that feels, well, remarkably human. I mean, just look at the sheer breadth of these skills. It's not just one trick. An AI can read a dense, 50-page scientific paper and bam, give you the key takeaways in just 3 bullet points. It can debate the pros and cons of a business decision with you, and then, get this, it can revise its own arguments based on your feedback. It's this deep grasp of context, of nuance, of intent that makes it so incredibly powerful. And this slide just nails the core idea. This mastery of language isn't just one skill among many, it's the bedrock. You can think of it like the operating system that almost all of its other amazing abilities are built on top of. Okay, so let's move on to our second superpower and see how this all builds. We're going from just understanding words to actually using them for structured, logical reasoning. This is where AI really starts to feel like a true problem-solving partner. And think about what this means in the real world. You could give it a super complex business problem. It's not just going to spit out an answer. No, it'll break the problem down into logical steps. It'll show its chain of thought, literally how it got to the conclusion. And it can even spot potential contradictions in your original idea. This is structured logic on a massive machine scale. Now, this is a really crucial point, and the book is very clear about this. AI cannot think the way a human does. It doesn't have consciousness, it doesn't have beliefs or desires. But, and this is a big but, what it can do is simulate the process of logical reasoning with a speed and a precision that is, frankly, superhuman. So think of it as a powerful tool for thought, not a replacement for the thinker. All right, now for something that feels truly transformative, AI as the creator. We're shifting gears from pure logic to imagination. AI has become what the author calls a universal engine for creativity, and it's capable of generating totally new content across almost any medium you can think of. And the scope here is just staggering. Seriously. We're talking about everything from writing a poem in the style of Shakespeare to generating the actual software code for a website that works. It can compose music, it can design a logo for your new company, it can create an animation, all from a simple text prompt. This is real generation, not just cutting and pasting. And here is the game-changing advantage. A human artist gets tired. A designer hits a creative block. We all do. But an AI? It never does. It can generate 100 different versions of an idea in seconds, any time of day or night, with zero fatigue. For anyone in a creative field, this completely changes the game for brainstorming and trying out new ideas. Okay, let's pivot from the creative to the analytical with superpower number 4, the data analyst. In today's world of just constant information overload, this might be one of AI's most valuable jobs, its ability to find that one important signal in all the noise. And just to help you understand the scale we're talking about here, look at this. A human, a really dedicated human, might be able to read a few dozen research papers in a week. An AI can analyze 1,000,000 of them, or more. It can sift through millions of lines of financial data or thousands of legal documents and find that one critical piece of information you need almost instantly. It's incredible. So, who does this actually help? Well, think about a lawyer who doesn't have to spend weeks sifting through old case law, or a scientist who can instantly connect their work with decades of previous research. From policymakers to students, anyone who needs to make sense of a ton of information, AI is becoming an absolutely indispensable tool. And that's the bottom line here, really. AI's true power as an analyst is its ability to take what feels like this overwhelming, messy complexity and just transform it into simple, actionable clarity. It helps us all make better decisions, way faster. This brings us to our 5th and final superpower, and this is the one that really ties all the others together. AI as the expert co-pilot. This is all about taking that incredible knowledge and making it accessible to everyone, essentially democratizing high-level expertise. I mean, across some of the most specialized fields out there, AI is now performing at a near-expert level. It can suggest a potential medical diagnosis based on symptoms you describe. It can draft a complex legal contract. It can even find vulnerabilities in an engineering design. This isn't just basic assistance. This is high-level expertise, on demand. But again, and the book really stresses this, there's a vital distinction to make. The AI is a co-pilot, not the pilot. It is not a replacement for a qualified professional. Instead, it acts as their second brain. It's an always-on research assistant, a brilliant partner for planning, and a tireless co-creator. It's all about augmenting human expertise, not making it obsolete. So, let's wrap this all up. We've seen that AI is a language master, a reasoner, a creator, an analyst, and an expert co-pilot. It's a tool, it's a partner, it's a second brain. The question isn't really, what can AI do, anymore. The real question is for you. Now that you have this,
Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work by Mr. Zahir Ahmad Mir. And we're tackling one of the biggest, most fascinating topics out there, the power and the paradox of what AI can, and maybe more importantly, what it can't do today.
So you see these headlines all the time, right? AI is doing these incredible things that feel like they're straight out of science fiction. It's writing software, it's designing new medicines from scratch. But behind all that incredible power, there's this nagging question we all have to ask. Does the AI, does it actually understand what it's doing? Is there a mind behind the magic?
To really get our heads around this paradox, we've got to start with the wow factor. Because honestly, in just the last couple of years, AI has made this huge leap. It's gone from being a kind of passive tool, like a fancy search engine that just answers your questions, to something much more active. It's an AI that actually gets things done.
Yeah, we are officially in the era of AI agents. Now look at this list. This isn't just a random collection of skills. The real game changer is that an AI agent can chain all of these things together. So think about it. You could give it one simple command like, hey, research the top 3 competitors for my new coffee shop, pop all their prices and reviews into a spreadsheet, and then draft an email to my business partner with a summary. And it just does it. It'll browse the web, open a spreadsheet, crunch the numbers, figure out if the reviews are good or bad, and then write the email for you. It's like having an automated assistant that you can just talk to in plain English.
And that right there is the crucial point. We've moved from passive knowledge to active execution. It's the difference between asking a cookbook for a recipe and having a robot chef in your kitchen that actually starts measuring the flour and preheating the oven. It's a huge leap, and it's turning AI from a simple library into a genuine partner. And you won't believe where this new action-oriented AI is having the most dramatic impact. It's in the world of science.
What is happening right now in scientific research is, and I'm not exaggerating, a full-blown revolution. AI is now tackling problems that scientists used to call grand challenges. These are puzzles so complex, we thought it would take generations of human brain power to even make a dent in them.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the point. For more than half a century, one of the toughest nuts to crack in biology was figuring out how proteins fold into their crazy complex 3D shapes. Decades of brilliant work in labs all over the globe managed to map about 150,000 of them. Then, AlphaFold came along. In just a couple of years, it predicted the structure of over 200 times million proteins. That isn't just a little faster, it's a completely different reality. It's solving in months what might have taken us centuries.
Seriously, just take a second and let that number sink in. 214 million. This isn't just a random database. It's a structural library for basically every known protein in plants, animals, bacteria, you name it. It's like we've been given a complete atom-by-atom blueprint for the machinery of life itself. This is accelerating everything from designing new drugs to fight diseases, to discovering enzymes that can eat plastic waste. It's an absolute treasure trove of knowledge that we just could not have built on our own, not this fast.
And that's exactly why this quote isn't just hype, it's the truth. In fields all across science, AI is digging through massive amounts of data and spotting patterns that no human ever could. It's an absolutely incredible partner. But this is where we hit that paradox. For all this incredible, superhuman power, what is AI fundamentally missing? We have to peek behind the curtain. We see all this intelligent behavior, but we need to understand what's actually going on underneath, because what we find isn't really a mind like ours. And honestly, this is the one distinction that every single one of us needs to grasp if we're going to use this tech wisely. This slide really gets to the heart of it. AI is the ultimate imitator. It studied trillions of words and images that we, humans, have created, and it has become a master at recognizing the patterns of how we communicate. It can write something that sounds empathetic or create a solution that seems clever, but it doesn't actually feel empathy. It doesn't have that aha moment of insight. It's just matching patterns. It's not experiencing anything. It has no self-awareness. There's no I in there.
And here's the bottom line. AI doesn't know that a protein is a real thing, or that a drug could save a life. It only knows that, based on all the data it's been trained on, certain words or pixels are very likely to follow other words or pixels. It's a prediction machine, plain and simple, running on pure probability. It doesn't know truth. It just predicts what a plausible-sounding answer should be. And that little difference has some very big, very practical consequences for all of us.
Right, because if the machine is just trying to predict the next most likely thing, and it's not actually reasoning from a solid foundation of facts, well, then it can and it absolutely will just make stuff up. Sometimes the mistakes are small, but sometimes they can be a really big deal. And these are not just some theoretical risks, okay? Hallucinating facts is a real thing. We've seen AIs confidently cite legal cases and scientific studies that sound totally real, but they don't actually exist. It can misunderstand what you're asking if you're not super clear. And the outdated data one is huge. A lot of these models aren't hooked up to the live internet, so if you ask about recent events, they might just invent an answer to fill in the blank.
So, what's the solution? Well, it means we absolutely cannot just blindly trust what the AI gives us. The best way to think about it is this. Treat AI like a brilliant, super fast junior assistant who is also a little overconfident. You have to check its work. If it writes code for you, a human developer has to review it. If it gives you medical advice, you must talk to a real doctor. If it spits out a statistic for your report, you need to find the original source. It's an amazing starting point, but it is never the final word.
And that brings us to what is maybe the most important point of this entire conversation. With all of its incredible power, there are some areas, uniquely human areas, where AI just can't and probably shouldn't operate on its own. This is where the technology has to stop and our own human wisdom has to take over. I mean, just think about that statement. It's profound. An AI could analyze 1 million court cases and tell you the most statistically likely sentence for a crime. It can evaluate the options based on data, but it can't look at a person and understand their life, their remorse, their circumstances. It can't weigh concepts like mercy against precedent. It can calculate, but it simply cannot determine what is truly just. These are our job. This is the stuff of humanity. An AI doesn't have a moral compass. It can't really get the subtle nuances of different cultures. And, this is a big one, it can't take personal responsibility. If an AI's advice leads to a bad outcome, who's accountable? The user, the programmer, the company? These deep questions of ethics and morality, they are still entirely on us. AI is a tool to inform our judgment, never, ever to replace it. And this is the final thought I want to leave you with, because it's a fascinating paradox. The more powerful our technology becomes, the more we hand over tasks like calculation and prediction to machines, the more valuable our uniquely human qualities become. Our wisdom, our ethics, our judgment, our compassion. You can't code these things. They are what's needed to steer the powerful engine we've built. So as AI gets smarter, the pressure on us to get wiser grows right along with it. It's not just about knowing things anymore. It's about knowing the right.
Very warm welcome back to Digital Future AI School. Hey, if you're getting value from this, please do take a moment to subscribe to our channel, give this a like, and share it with your friends. This is episode 6, and it's all based on the fantastic insights from chapter 6 of the book, AI, Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work, by Mr. Zahir Ahmad Mir. So, let's get right into it. Okay, so if you really want to get good at using AI, you have to start with where it falls short. It really comes down to 2 major blind spots that every single user needs to understand. The first is all about data, and the second is about creativity. Right, so here is the number 1 most important rule of AI. It only knows what we show it. Seriously. Just imagine it's a student who has only ever read the specific books you've handed them. Everything it produces, every answer it gives, is a direct reflection of the quality of that input. So what happens when that input data is, well, bad? If the data is biased, maybe reflecting old prejudices, then guess what? The AI is going to give you biased results. If the data is incomplete, missing some really important context, its conclusions are going to feel shallow. And if the data is just flat out wrong, the AI will confidently give you a completely wrong answer. It has no way of knowing the difference on its own. There's this old saying in computer science, garbage in, garbage out. It's been around forever, but it has never been more true than it is right now with AI. This is the perfect reminder that the machine is just a mirror. It's simply reflecting whatever data we feed it. And that brings us to the second huge limitation, and this one really gets to the heart of what makes us human. AI is getting crazy good at generating things, text, images, you name it. But it's operating on a totally different level. It's more like expert mimicry, not genuine from-the-heart creation. Think about it. An AI has never felt a moment of pure joy or a tough heartbreak. It hasn't lived through the experiences that shape our perspective or felt that sudden spark of genuine inspiration. It can analyze the colors and shapes that make something beautiful, sure, but it can't feel it. It can't truly appreciate it. That spark, that's ours. It's uniquely human. So this all leads to a really important question, right? If we know AI has these blind spots, how do we use it responsibly? How can we tap into all its power without falling into these traps? Well, the answer is simpler than you think. It all comes down to awareness. Now, this might sound a little strange at first, but understanding these limits isn't a weakness. It's actually your greatest strength. Being aware of what AI can't do is what protects you and, believe it or not, empowers you. See, when you're aware of these limits, you know exactly when to double-check its work and avoid major mistakes. You can use its analysis to make your own decisions stronger, instead of just letting it decide for you. You can delegate the boring stuff to it to boost your productivity, all while you stay in complete ethical control. And this is the big one. It ensures that you remain the master of the tool and not the other way around. Let's be clear. AI itself isn't the danger. The real danger comes from us. It comes from trusting it blindly, from just accepting what it says without thinking, and fundamentally misunderstanding what it's truly capable of. Responsible use starts and ends with our own critical thinking. And that realization brings us to the most powerful way to think about this technology. We have to stop seeing AI as a replacement for us. Instead, we should see it as the ultimate partner. This is where things get really, really exciting. So try thinking about your AI partner playing these specific roles. It can be your collaborator, helping you brainstorm new ideas. It can be a thought partner, challenging your assumptions with hard data. It's an absolutely incredible research accelerator, finding and summarizing info in seconds. And it's an execution engine that never gets tired, handling all those repetitive tasks so you can focus on the big picture. And this is the core idea, the most important message. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans plus machines. When you combine our intuition, our judgment, with AI's incredible speed, you create something brand new, a combined intelligence that's way more powerful than either one of us could ever be alone. So let's break that down a bit more. What does each partner actually bring to this amazing combination? What are the unique strengths that you, the human, contribute, and what does the AI bring to the table? Just look at how perfectly these strengths fit together. It's like a puzzle. We provide the ethics, the moral compass, and the judgment calls. AI provides the raw speed and the massive memory. We bring the creativity and empathy. AI is a master at finding patterns in data. We understand the real-world context. AI handles the tireless execution. It's a perfect match. So after all of this, what's the one thing you should remember? What's the biggest takeaway? It's this. In the human-AI partnership, you are always the guide. Sure, AI can think in patterns, it can accelerate our progress, it can assist with a million different tasks. But look at what it can't do. It can't replace your conscience. It can't replace human wisdom gained through experience. And it can never, ever replace human responsibility. That stays with us. At the end of the day, AI's power isn't something that just exists on its own. It's unlocked, it's shaped, and it's made meaningful because we are there to guide it. Its strength is just a reflection of our vision, our ethics, and our goals. And that leaves us with one final thought. You now have access to this incredible new partner, one that can amplify your own intelligence in ways we're just beginning to understand. So the only real question left is,